ang skills development, just like any hindi doon sa may kundi po doon sa mga nangangailangan. In his words, those in the lower strata of society. Kaya po, kabilang dito ang kanyang emphasis in TESDA's direction, working with the local government units upang marating ang mga komunidad na ito, kabilang na ang mga indigenous communities, cultural communities, our brothers, rebel returnees, among others. Kaya pinapalawig niya at palalakasin pa ang aming engagement not only with the industries at the national level but also industries, corporations, enterprises on the ground. Ang TESDA po ay may tatlong core businesses. Una, technical education. Ikalawa, skills development. At ikatlo, assessment and certification program. Commission on Higher Education, yung kanilang policies, standards, guidelines, ang TESDA po ay nagtatakda actions. Ito po ang mga pamantayan defining the competencies per qualification. At sa ngayon po, nag-umpisa kami nung year 2000. Ngayon po, after 18 years, we have now 272 courses or training regulations. At I'm glad to report na mahigit kumulang 40% dito ay nasa larangan ng construction, supportive or related courses in construction. Now, from these training regulations, ang ating mga providers o techbook institutions ay nagre-rehistro ng kanilang mga courses sa TESDA. Ito yung aming authority role that no provider of any techbook course will be allowed to deliver courses prior to registering their programs to us. Now, po na public and private techbook institutions. Ang publikong sektor dito ay wala pa hong 500. So more or less, at least 3,500 of techbook providers are in the private hands. At dapat ho ito ay alalayan to ensure that they are delivering quality programs. Now, ang ating pong technical educations operate not only in the schools but also in the enterprises. Ito po ang tawag ng natin dito ay enterprise-based training programs wherein the training and skilling happen and are obtaining in the enterprises, communities, and even farms. At ang ikatlo na isa sa mga strength din po ng technical and ng skills development are delivery of training programs and skilling at the community level. Dito po ang katulong natin ay mga local government units, non-government organizations, civil organizations, and the like. Now, through the years, nakita po ng ating datos that of the universe, barely 5% of the training or outputs ng technical education ay nasa enterprise-based training program. At dito po, with the cooperation na obtaining now, the TESDA is an attached agency with DTI on programs and policies. This is an opportunity for the technical education to be more relevant and the requirements of industry. Now, just early this year, may bagong batas that will affect not only education but also labor and employment. This is the Philippine Qualification Framework Law. Ito po ay may 8 bahagdan at ang unang 5 bahagdan, levels 1 to 5, ay technical education. Ang graduate po ng kolehiyo or baccalaureate degree ay nasa level 6. Ang masteral degree among us ay nasa level 7 at yung mga doctoral degree ay nasa level 8. Now, atin pong pinapalakas itong framework na ito dahil this is part of the ASEAN Integration Agreement wherein movement of professionals and skilled workers should be referenced against its others qualification framework. At ito po ang kinakarir ng ating mga opisyales from PRC, Department of Labor, CHED, DepEd, and the persons from the our business sector. Now, um, one of the pillars of the authority, its authority role is the assessment and certification program. Ito po ang sistema wherein a worker or a learner subjects himself to an assessment so that the system will prove that if he can perform the job, then you are given a recognition by government. No? This works also kahit po hindi pumasok o nag-aral. Basta one worker, one Filipino would say, I think I can do that. You can just subject yourself for assessment and the system will provide you a national certificate. Ito po yung commonplace na tinatawag NC. Dapat may NC ka para maka-link sa trabaho, whether domestic or overseas. Now, let me tell you that this assessment and certification program, hindi lang po natin ginagawa ito dito sa Pilipinas. At ito po ay inihain natin at iniabot even to our brothers, overseas Filipino workers. Wherein our experts and competency assessors, dinadala natin sa Riyadh, sa Kuwait, Hong Kong, Singapore, para yung ating mga kababayan, overseas Philippine workers, their skills and competencies na na-acquire on the job ay nasa-certify ng ating gobyerno. At ngayon po, dumadami ng dumadami yung ating nabibigyan ng ganitong serbisyo. Hindi na nila kailangan umuwi pa para ma-assess. Right there, we bring the services right there at their own workplace in coordination with our POLO or Philippine Overseas Labor Offices. Now, one of the biggest ticket items ng technical education, yung sinabi nga ni ASEC, ay provision of scholarships. Tertiary education ng gobyerno wherein ang technical vocational education and training is now rendered free sa lahat ng public textbook institutions. Kung sa TESDA, yung programa pong iyon ay sagot na ng gobyerno. Now, so we have now 317 state-run textbook institutions under these programs. At itong 317 na ito po ay naimapa na natin yung kanilang mga peso scholarship package. Na ito po ang 6.9 billion pesos na ito ay inumpisa nating i-deliver nung nakaraang buwan lamang, October. At ito would last for a period of 12 months. So this will cross until 2019, 70,000 Filipino learners that will be benefiting textbook education and training programs. Now, this is over and above the existing work scholarship program na kung saan ito po ay nakatuon sa agad na trabaho ayon sa key employment generating sectors identified in coordination among TESDA, Department of Labor, and our labor market information systems. And this program has been ongoing for the past 5 years. So, meron din po tayong scholarship program na nakatuon sa employment enterprise development sa community level. Ito po yung step na tinatawag wherein ang mga kabataan ay nabibigyan ng pagkakataong magsanay sa mga modules leading to immediate employment. Ang tawag namin dito ay units of competency leading to immediate employment, whether wage or entrepreneurship. Ang kagandahan po nito, part ng package ay ang mga bata, pag nagtapos, ay binibigyan ng toolkits, starter toolkits, wherein they can make use of as an initial investment to start up a business of their own. So thus, creating more entrepreneurs from the Filipinos as an option to or other than wage employment. So, dito po nakatuon ang direksyon ng ating bagong Director General ng TESDA, si Sec. Isidro La Peña. Sabi niya, kailangan nating labanan ang kahirapan. At one of the armaments in fighting poverty is education and training. Enable them, capacitate the young Filipinos so that poverty can be addressed. Not solely by TESDA, but in cooperation with the Economic Development Framework at the national and at the local level. Yun po ang kanyang mensahe. Palawigin ang technical education, hindi lamang sa kalunsuran, kundi sa kanayunan. I think that in a nutshell uh, puts the technical education now continuing in its small successes towards relevance at the community level. Now, last point that I want to share with you. Modesty aside, we take very seriously that your Technical Education and Skills Development Authority has maintained its ISO 9001-2015 certification for a couple of years now, a testament of us being serious in delivering quality product and services. And to cap it all, sinwerte po ang inyong TESDA na makamit ang isang award, the Philippine Quality Awards, one of the very few institutions, public, private, na nabigyan ng pagkilala that we are very serious in delivering quality-assured technical education and skills development for the youth, not so young, the millennials, and just like us, may mga linya na. So, your technical education is for everyone and for everyone. So I think this initial intro can be a fitting introduction of what TESDA is and what TESDA will be in the very near future. Ako nga pala po, si Elmer Talavera, 35 years na sa TESDA. Andito pa rin. And this is my first time on this press con. We're used to doing our magic on the ground. But ang hirap pala. Ang hirap pala to start with.
Maraming salamat, Director Talavera. We would like to acknowledge the presence of Undersecretary Rocky Ignacio and Undersecretary Lorraine Badoy. Good morning, ma'am. Question MPC, Rose, then RJ.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, nabanggit nyo, libre naman yung TechVoc education, no? Ano pa po yung magiging papel ng local officials sa TESDA kung libre naman po itong maipagkakaloob ng pamahalaan?
Okay. Ako. Under the Universal Access for Quality Tertiary Education, may free Tibet component. Ito po, ang saklaw nito ay doon sa delivery sa publikong sektor, sa state-run TechVoc institutions. At kabilang po dito, yung mga training centers operated, owned, manned, and funded by the local government units, And may karamihan na rin po ang mga local government units embracing the Local Government Autonomy Act na sila, they are self-determining the future of their youth. At yun po, kinilala ng batas that yung provision in the local government unit training centers be rendered free. Kabilang din po dito yung local universities and colleges na may TechVoc programs registered with TESDA, sakop din po ng batas. At this is bringing the public good right there at the community level. Malaki po ang role ng local government units. Ikatlo, at sana hindi makaligtaan po ng ating mga local government officials. Dapat ipaalam sa kanilang constituents ang public good na ito. Dapat makarating. At kung saang TechVoc providers pwedeng hikayatin ang kabataan at ang mga magulang na nandito ang quality provision. Doon po siguro kailangan pagtulungan sa information at kamulatan that TechVoc education and training is a viable career option. Yun po ang malaking role ng ating local government unit, among others.
Ay, sir, meron kayong katiyakan na hindi magagamit ito ng mga kandidato, lalo na ngayong mag-e-eleksyon, yung TESDA? Yung ino-offer niyong libre naman eh. Hindi ho ba ito magagamit sa pamumulitika ng mga local officials?
Ako pinaniniwala ng ating kabataan at ang mga magulang is already discerning on acquiring public good from the government and not on a particular person. Tatapatin ko kayo, wala akong isasagot na may kasiguruhan. No, we cannot address that. But the point is, let the social media, our brothers in the media, to disseminate this public good, the availability of this public good, reaching those who need it the most. Yun po ang aking take diyan.
Sir, last na lang po. Ano po yung papel ng TESDA dun sa programa ng gobyerno sa rebel returnees?
Naku. Opo. Ito po ang isang segment ng ating mga marginalized sector or the persons in need na tinuunan. Hindi lamang po ngayon, kundi even yung nakaraang mga administrasyon ng aming pong nakaraang Secretary Jean Mamunjong ay nanguna at pinalawig ang programa attacking or addressing the plight of the rebel returnees. At if I may recall, since 2016 po, ay mahigit kumulang 20,000 ang mga rebel returnees na naabutan at na nagkamit ng training programs with TESDA in cooperation with our brothers on the ground, rebel returnees, persons with disabilities, relatives of persons killed in action, wounded in action. Kaya ang daming mga specialized groups na dapat nating i-address. Kaya we need more resources, not only financial, but also collaborative engagements on the ground, also at the national level.
Sir, last na lang po.
Opo.
May nabulgar po kasing anomalya sa OPAP, Office of the Presidential Advisor for the Peace Process. Sinabi niyo naman na nakasama yung TESDA sa mga programa ng OPAP. Napasama po kaya sa korupsyon yung TESDA? O meron ba kayang pondo ng TESDA na napunta sa korupsyon sa OPAP?
Not that I know, ma'am. Not that I know.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, maraming salamat, Ate Rose. RJ, mic please. Salamat.
Sir, as of September 2018, sir, your total number of graduates, 1.1 million, right? Sir, may data po ba tayo noong 2017 so that we can compare how many percent yung tumaas or binaba ng graduates ng TESDA?
I don't know if I have, but we have an annual tracking of our graduates. Ang ngayon po, our outputs sa institution-based, center-based, enterprise-based ay lumalaro sa mahigit kumulang 2 milyon na kada taon. Ang kapwa malakas dito yung sa schools at saka lalong-lalo na dun sa komunidad. If I will have the data right now, I will provide later on. But ibig sabihin testament ito na kailangan mas marami pa tayong matulungan. We're barely scratching the ground. Tiningnan po nung aming the strategies that our new Secretary La Peña is. Ang una niyang hinanap sa amin, what is your universe? What is your universe? 2 milyon taon-taon, what is your universe? Nung makita po namin, ang universe natin po ay nasa 40 milyon. So sabi niya, ay parang ano lang yan, patak ng ulan. So tingnan natin ang ating reach. So yun po, the challenge is very huge. 2 million as against 40 million universe is barely scratching the ground. We'll provide you the data po.
Sir, out of 1.1 million, how many of them are employed?
Ito po. TESDA po has been very judicious in tracking. Ang sabi nga natin, the product of the pudding is in the eating. The task of technical education is to link our youth to jobs, and not unless we put them to jobs, we falter in our mission. Since several more than a decade ago, we've been tracking, and I'm glad to report po. Uh, every year ginagawa po namin yung impact evaluation study. Right now, the latest figures are 72. 72 of every 100 graduates that are in the labor force land jobs within 6 months to a year. At ito po ay yung aming history. Nung unang panahon, nasa 40% lamang po ito. At sa space of 1 year, 72 out of every 100 na nasa labor force na graduate ng TESDA ay may trabaho. And this is one of the testaments kung bakit tama si Secla Peña. One of the tools in addressing poverty is technical education.
Sir, 72 out of
Out of 100.
100. That's as of 2018. 2018 po, sir.
Yes, yun po yung latest. From the previous year, 65, 68, now it's 71 point something out of every 100. So, if the sampling is correct, which is guided by the national our PSA, the figures are encouraging, and we hope to maintain, if not continuously increase that figure.
Sir, saan po natin ma-attribute yung increase na 72?
Among others po, ito yung pakikipag-ugnayan ng ating mga local government units. Kasi po, on the ground, we have this arrangement with the local government units, community training and employment coordinators. Sila po ay nakiki-work in tandem with our public information and service, employment and service offices. Nagtutulungan sila in comparing the labor market at kung saan may bakanting trabaho. Also, malaking tulong din po yung regular na pag-conduct ng job fairs. Na ito po ay inumpisahan ng Department of Labor na ang dami na pong tumutulong ngayon, private companies, NGOs doing job fairs at the community level. At nung towards the end of last year, we've launched the World Cafe of Opportunities. Ito po ay convergence ng gobyerno at pribadong sektor upang regular, hindi lang taunan, na i-conduct itong job linking our graduates and learners to actual job opportunities on the ground. Kasi po kanina pinag-uusapan namin ni Ase, paano yung halos 8 milyon na mga Pilipino nasa overseas Filipino workers. But what we need ay suportahan ng skills development, technical education, ang ating domestic employment. So dito po natin iginigiya yung ating programa.
Sir, do we have target for the 2019?
2019,
Yes.
and as to the employment rate.
Yes.
I'm looking just on the linear graph. And siguro po, pwede na ako magtumbling pag umabot sa 75. But I will consult my colleagues sa ano kanilang estimate. But our target, we have overshot our target. Our target before was just hit 65, 67%. We landed on close to 72%.
So what will you do, sir, to achieve that target, 75 from 72?
As I've said, conduct the regular and honest to goodness job bridging, linkaging with businesses, both large and small. Palakasin pa po ang ating linkages with public employment service offices. In fact, by next week, we will be in Davao City, wherein yung ating community training and employment coordinators ay ginagawan po natin ng competency standards para ma-standardize na ano ang kaalaman, kasanayan ng mga coordinators na ito upang tama ang lapat ng koordinasyon ng empleyo at kasanayan. Yun po ang aming initial na ginagawang ito. At sana ay with the support of media and the local government units ay lumawig ang kagat ng technical education sa komunidad.
Thank you, RJ. NBC. Balik tayo kay Ate Rose. Mike, please. Nestor, thank you.
Ay, sir. Sir, doon naman po sa aspeto nung drug dependence, ano po yung programa ng TESDA para makapagbagong buhay yung mga dating drug dependents?
Ito po ay kwento. Under Secretary Mamunjong, nung nakaraang two anniversaries ago, all TESDA personnel, pinangunahan ni Sec Mamunjong, came up with a covenant or declaration. The TESDA, from the central up to the ground, drug-free and corruption-free. Pinangunahan niya ng pa-drug test at kami sumunod mula central hanggang sa ilalim bilang patunay na seryoso ang TESDA fight against drug addiction. Dineclare din po namin na yung aming mga offices and even our techbook institutions, lalo na yung pag-aari ng TESDA, ay drug-free. At masusi po naming binabantayan yan sa career guidance, among others, yung droga. Drug dependence, marami tayong mga natukhang na-identify, sumuko. At sa ngayon, mahigit kumulang na 20,000 din since na umupo si Sec Mamunjong. Pinagpapatuloy po ngayon na even doon po na nasa rehab pa lamang ay tinutulungan na natin, binibigyan ng kasanayan. This is in coordination with our PNP and the Department of Health kasi hindi po lahat ng dependent ay pwede ng kaagad ay bigyan ng kasanayan kung hindi pa sila handa. So kasama po yan sa bucket list ng technical education, ihatid ang kasanayan, kasama na po sila. Hindi lamang yung drug dependence, even yung mga pamilya na mga nakakulong ay hinahatidan din po natin ng programa sa skills development.
Sir, may bukod kayong pondo para sa ganon, sa anti-drug campaign, katulad ng pagbibigay ng scholarship sa mga drug dependents?
Opo, ang atin pong TESDA, ang lahat ng regional directors ay categorized as area managers. Dapat nasa scoping ng area manager itong mga segments na ito. At yung ating mga available scholarship programs ay nilalagay kung mayroong pangangailangan sa iyong area, kasama yun po sa aming dapat abutin. Yun po.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ate Rose. Jonah Yu, Inquiry Radio.
Sir, do you have records kung how many senior high school students ang nag-graduate and took vocational courses sa TESDA? And how are they coping? Are they employed na or?
Napakagandang tanong. As you well know po, ay nung the first graduates of the kinder to 12 nangyari lamang nung gumraduate sila ngayong nakaraang Hunyo, no? Although nagkaroon po ang CHED ng pronouncement that kaysa hodang saang stream ka or track, open yan to enroll in baccalaureate degrees. So we still have to do a tracking mechanism para masagot ko po yung inyong very interesting question. We would also like to find out sino yung kinder to 12 na nasa techbook track na nagpatuloy sa techbook or went to higher education or baccalaureate degrees. Kasi po dati ay tracking. We were hoping na yung nasa techbook track na senior high would proceed to technical education, but the system opened it up to even other disciplines aside from technical education. So naging accessible na all tracks to higher education, but we will be keeping tab on such particular concern.
Jonah, follow-up? No more? NPC, question? Questions? No more? Ay na. Mike, please.
Hi, sir. Sir, just a clarification dun sa 20,000 number na binigay niyo regarding rebel returnees. Anong period po yun? And is that 20,000 total po nung rebel returnees, PWDs, who are covered by that?
Ito po ay datos nag-umpisa noong 2016 hanggang sa 2018, nag-number na po sila ng only for rebel returnees. Apo, ganun din po sa ating mga kapatid na sa indigenous communities. More or less, ganun din pong numero mula 2016 hanggang sa ngayon. But with Sec La Peña at the helm, we are anticipating that more attention will be given in this particular segment.
And sir, have there been perhaps issues of these these rebel returnees finding employment because of their background?
Segmentation at ang daming mga accounts, more than just employment. I had a chance to talk with this is an IP. Nung una ko ho siyang makita doon sa ating Corfield Training Center in Davao City, nakaupo sa tabi ng basurahan. Nakaupo siya. Siya po ay nahihiya. But 3-4 months later, I looked for him again. Nung makita ko siya, nagpapaandar na po ng traktor and very proud of himself. So, technical education is not just after all about job. It is the human person. Na ano natin from the doldrum society, yan nakatungo. And siya na po ang nagtuturo sa mga kanyang classmate na taga-bayan. And very proud that he knows how to weld, he knows how to drive the tractor, and he is now being listened to. Yung pagbabago ng kanyang pagkatao. Yung pong mga ating kapatid sa indigenous community, bigyan lang ng pagkakataon na sila ay maging bida to gain self-confidence. And yan po, parang engine. Once they get going, things get done. And we'll keep tab on these successes ng unemployment sa rebel returnees. We know that ang ating po mga industry ay hindi pa masyadong bukas. Kung bibigyan itutuon natin sa wage employment. Kaya nga po, ang inihatid natin sa kanila ay leading to self-employment or entrepreneurship, gaining gainful activities right after finishing their qualification. More entrepreneurial rather than forcing them into being wage employed. Kasi hindi natin maalis po. Meron pa rin pong stigma. No? It's hiring practices. But if they can stand on their own, set up their own enterprise, there's future in things going on the ground.
Thank you. Yeah. Last question?
Sir, tingin nyo ba may dapat pala kasi ng TESDA yung kanyang schools para mawala yung perception na ginagamit itong recruitment hub ng new people?
Alam ko yan exciting dahil din po ako ay 10 taon na napasawsaw sa Mindanao. 8 taon sa Davao Region at 3 taon sa Cotabato Region. At kami po ay nag-criss-cross doon sa ibang mga region kung saan nakikipag-ugnayan kami sa ating mga cultural communities. The cultural community setting up their own centers of learning need a lot of help. They need a lot of convergence. Na-witness ko rin po ang pagtutulungan ng Red Cross, ng ating military. Some 10 years ago, nagkaroon ng doon sa Caraga area. nagkaroon po yung the team was being led by Secretary Duque of the Department of Health. Nung kami po ay nag-convoy kasama mga militar at pulis, akala namin po ay we will be welcomed by open arms. Nung palapit na po kami, nagtakbuhan palayo ang ating mga kababayan, kalimihan ay kababaihan. Sa pag-aakala na yung convoy ay taga-kabila. Nung sila po ay nahimasmasan na, nagsilapitan, ang amin pong nakita ay puro kababaihan. We asked, nasaan po ang inyo? Asa mga bana? Sila po ang nasa bukid. Dahil po sila po isinusona. At ang unang tinatarget ay kalalakihan at kabataan. Dapat po talaga ay pagtulungan ang paghatid ng programa sa ground. Kung ang ating peace and order ay hindi magagampanan, ay patuloy that the other side will be itching and inching into our youth. Kaya, nagko-converge ang thoughts ni Sec Mamundyong at nito ni La Peña. Ang ating indigenous communities ay dapat tulungan dahil yan ang sinasabing posible na fishing grounds na again challenging peace and order in even our future. Sana nga po ay ma-isolate ang lahat ng hindi lamang tayo, the Department of Science and Technology. Kailangan magtulungan sa ground upang ang ating public good ay mai-deliver without casting aspersions to the other agenda. Yun po. Pero po, even yung taga-kabila, pag nakausap din naman natin, pag itinuon natin sa bituka ng kanilang mga anak, ay nahihimasmasan din. We have worked at the center of the communities of the rebels. Hindi pa returning rebels. Pag ang pinag-usapan na po ay ang kalam ng sikmura, magkakaintindihan. Siguro dapat lang continuous na may contact at yung paniniwala na ang kanila kinabukasan ay nakasalalay sa decision. Huwag lang tayo magbibigay ng palugit. Alam natin on how things work and how things don't. But if we remain grounded and encourage sila to come and integrate with the program, not necessarily with us, baka lalawig ang programa ng gobyerno. Hindi pwedeng ito persahan. Hindi pwedeng persahan. Sabi nga, even industries, public, private, and the communities, don't just engage. Create relationships. Hindi pwedeng one program, parang task force, one, after that, babush. Relationship. And this should come from both ends.
Thank you, sir.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much, Executive Director Elmer Talavera. And NPC, maraming salamat. Back to main studios.